Good afternoon. Hi, it's Dr. Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. Hopefully, you all are having a fantastic day and getting some time to enjoy the beauty that we have outside. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, I want to take a few moments today to talk to you about the importance of words. And the topic is words are important. And you're probably asking, why that topic today? Well, I just will share with you. I attended an event today and we talked about branding and your personal brand and your business brand. And as I was listening to the conversations from the panelists today, the thing that stood out to me the most was that words are so important. And what you say to individuals, how you say it, could have a major impact on someone's life. And so I just wanted to spend a few moments with you today to really talk about, why words are important. And what are some things, three simple things that you can do to make sure that you are mindful of what you say to people and how you say it. First thing we have to think about is number one, we don't know what someone is going through at the time that we're having those conversations with them or before we have those conversations. And so you may walk up to someone and, say, hi, how you doing? Or isn't it a great day today? So you want to think about that because in your mind, you may be thinking, yes, it's a great day today. You woke up this morning, your morning has started off well, it's after lunch, and you're having a fabulous day. Everything has gone well the way you wanted it. Your day is just fabulous. But you walk up to someone and say, isn't it a great day today? They may not be having a great day. And so we have to be mindful that when you say that, it may rub some people the wrong way. Why are you saying it's a great day? My day has been terrible today. So we have to think about that. And that's why it's so important to know that words matter, particularly in the workplace. Well, words matter everywhere. But if we look at it from a workplace perspective, when I was in corporate, I had to be very mindful of the words that I used or said because I didn't want my staff to feel like I was insensitive. I wanted to be respectful because, you don't always know what someone is going through, even though you may greet them in the morning, but by lunchtime or by end of day, their day may have just turned upside down. Something from a family perspective may have occurred and they're not feeling well. So you just really don't know what someone is going through. So words are very important and they do matter to the individuals. The next portion is, that you should think about is, um, let's say for an example, you are in a meeting in a setting and you're not really sure what to say or you're not sure how to address someone. So most of you know that I facilitate diversity, equity, and inclusion training. And one of the things we've talked about in my last training session was pronouns and making sure that we're using the correct pronouns when we address people. And again, this is where words matter. You want to make sure, number one, that you have that level of awareness around who your audience is or who you're talking to, because you don't want to address them incorrectly or inappropriately. So words matter. Using the proper pronouns could have some significant impacts if you address someone inappropriately, and that individual may not feel comfortable. So if you're trying to network and build a relationship with someone new that you have not met, and you're not addressing them appropriately, or first of all, that level of awareness, you have not inquired or asked them how they want to be addressed, that's your first mistake. So always ask the individual how they want to be addressed. Making sure you use those correct pronouns because you do not want to offend anyone, unintentionally or intentionally. So you don't want to offend anyone in any aspect. So always ask the question of how they want to be addressed so that you are using the proper pronouns. The third scenario I want to share with you is around when you are in a setting. Um, let's say, for an example, I was in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and oddly enough, I was the only female, and I was the only female of color in this particular meeting. And again, this is why words matter. But most importantly, in this situation, it was the lack of words that actually was the issue. So being in a setting where you are the only person of color and then the only female plus female of color, it makes things a little bit, it was a little off. And so the lack of communication, the lack of recognition or identifying that I'm there in the meeting um, was a quite interesting experience. And so, if you have ever been faced with a situation where you were the only person, or the only female, or the only person of color, and or the only male in a meeting, and you are not addressed appropriately, or having a conversation, or recognition, or acknowledgement, then that can have an impact on an individual. So, it can be the use of words, the improper use of words, or the lack of words that could have an impact on an individual. So there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one is know your audience. Have some level of awareness as to who you are talking to, or who you are addressing, or what meeting you're going into, to know who's going to be in the room. That is the most important step that you need to take when it comes to making sure that you're not offending anyone. So you want to know who your audience is, you want to know who's in the room, and you want to know who you're talking to. So you have a better understanding of how to address those individuals. The second is you want to acknowledge who's in the room. Now, I'm not saying you have to acknowledge everyone in the room, but do something that people know that you appreciate that they're there. You acknowledge that they're there, and ask everyone to share. So when you include everyone, then people in the room will feel inclusive. So if you don't address everyone, people may not feel inclusive. And if you're just talking to, to be talking, or maybe you're talking at a lunch and learn, or whatever that you're doing, and you're not addressing the people that you're talking to, then people may disconnect, they become disengaged, and they don't feel that they're important. And that's why the use of words does have an impact on an individual, and it does matters. So again, the first is having that level of awareness, knowing who's in the room, who you're talking to, is very important. And then the second one is to acknowledge who's in the room, so that people know that, yes, they hear me, they see me, they know that I'm important. And then finally, the third step is, when you're having those conversations and knowing that words matter, is to be respectful to whomever you are speaking to. The worst thing you can ever do to someone is to be disrespectful. And when we are trying to figure out what pronouns to use when we're talking to individuals, that is being disrespectful. Everyone's not on the bandwagon with, learning what pronouns to use. But again, you need to ask the question. Ask who you are talking to, how they want to be addressed. So that's where that first level of awareness is very important. Knowing who you're talking to, knowing who's in your audience. If you're speaking to a large group of individuals, you want to know who you're talking to. And then secondly, again, is to acknowledge who you're talking to. And then finally is to be respectful to who you're talking to. So if people want to be addressed a certain way, make sure that you are being respectful of that, acknowledging who they are, and calling them by the appropriate pronouns, that the way that they want to be addressed. So words do matter, but most importantly, sometimes the lack of words do matter. If you're not engaging someone in that conversation, then that can have an impact, and sometimes a lasting impact, on individuals because they feel excluded. The worst thing that you can do in the world today is to exclude someone. We all want to be a part of something, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a training session, a meeting, a development opportunity, or at the family dinner table. We all want to be included. So do not, try not to, and please don't exclude anyone. Always be inclusive in everything that you say and the words that you use, because you never know what words you may say that may impact someone. And it could impact someone for the rest of our life. You just have no idea, because we all don't know what other people are going through. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things right now. COVID is getting better, but people are still at different stages of their lives with based on what's happening in the world today. So remember that. If you don't remember anything else I say, remember that words matter, and to always be inclusive. So, one final tip that I want to, not tip, but I want to share with you is that on November the 6th, I will be having my vision board party. Yes, it is time to plan for 2022. So please join me on November the 6th. I will put the information in the chat, so that you can connect with me, and let's get ready to plan for your goals and objectives in 2022. It will be here before you know it, and you don't want to wait to the last minute to get started. So hopefully, what I've shared with you today has been insightful. And again, if you don't remember anything else that I've said today, just remember that be careful of how you address people. Be careful of the words that you use, because it could have a lasting impact on someone. Have a great day, and I will see you next Thursday. It's Dr. Linda Jordan with Getting Real with Linda. Thank you.